Hi friends, my name is Megan and welcome to my 58th Flosstube episode. If you're new here, welcome. This is a channel that's mostly about cross stitch, however I do share my other hobbies here when I've worked on them. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and spending time with me. I appreciate all of you even more than you know. Today is Sunday, it is February the 2nd, and it is a gray and chilly day here in Maryland, but we have made it out of January, so that's great. What a month that was. Yes, we were very busy all month. We had quite a few things going on. We attended a gala. The women's organization that I'm a part of, we are celebrating our 75th year. Our chapter is this year, so I helped plan and then attended a gala to celebrate that. What else? We had some snow days here. I did try to do a snow day project, which I will show you in a little bit, but I was not super successful with doing that. What else went on? We got a new couch. So our last couch was the kind that had the pillows attached to the back of it, and somebody, I'm not naming any names, gets upset and runs as fast as she can when somebody walks by and like basically ripped those pillows off of the back. So we needed a couch that had pillows that were not attached. So we did get a new to us couch, which is good because poor Aaron tested positive for COVID on Friday, so he's been upstairs, hopefully feeling better, and I have been sleeping on said new couch. So yeah, it was a busy month. I tucked into my stitching quite a lot. I know a lot of us find comfort there, and I definitely was leaning on that quite a bit. I did try a new rotation for my stitching, which I will talk about shortly, but I do have a lot to share with you today. Let's see, what else? So Cora is laying down there. She's got her blanket and her pillow and one of her stuffies, so hopefully she is content. Quentin is taking Lindsay back to college today. She's been on winter break for like a month and a half almost, I think. And the cats are around. Mittens is doing fine. Tarzan's being a menace, you know, everything is status quo. And I'm doing the best I can. So let's get into all of this stitching. Since I saw you last, there are things that I've started and finished and fully finished. What? I've got some other fully finished items. I've got starts. I've got works in progress, whips. I've got more finishes. I've got some things that came in the mail. I've got some plans and who knows what else. So I think we should get into it. We might be here for a little while. Okay, so the first two fully finished items that I have to share with you are new starts and finishes since last I saw you. This one I did talk about in my last video. This is Auld Lang Syne by HellofromLizMathews, which looks like this. And I love this. Love this. This was so much fun to stitch. And it's not a lot of stitching either. It's 1,878 stitches. I stitched it on a piece of 36 count color and cotton linen, and I think it was like mushroom or like mushroom bold or something like that. I lost the tag for it, and I just used some pretty black silk, and here is my finish. I love this so much. This is one of my all-time favorite finishes, all-time favorite stitches. I just obsessed. I love this. It's just so classy and pretty. Yeah, so this is a 8x10 frame that came from Joann's. I've had it in my stash for a long time, so I don't know if it's still available, but yeah. Love it. So there's that one. And the next one I have is called Never Lose. It's by Shaded Stitchery. It's available on their Ko-Fi. I will link it below. This came out on Martin Luther King Day, and so I started it that day, and I finished it maybe like a day or two later. Another quick stitch. This I stitched on a piece of 32 count Ancient by Picture This Plus, and I used a piece of. I used coloring cotton thread in the color Sapphire to stitch it up. And here's my finish. It says, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." So I thought that this would fit in a 4x6 frame. This mat is 4x6, but I lost the period after junior. But yeah. So this brought some great comfort, and it's a great reminder. I have it hanging up right when you walk into my dining room. So love that. And this frame came from Michael's. All right, when I got that frame at Michael's, I got a blue one too, because I wasn't sure which what color I would like better, because I really love that pop of blue with the floss. So I had an extra blue frame and I wasn't sure what to do with it, so I dug around in my drawer of finishes and I pulled out this one. This is Dreaming of Klimt by Barbara Anna. And this, I think I started for my birthday a few years ago. I can't remember for sure. And I'm not sure what I stitched it on either. It was a 36 count. Probably coloring cotton. So this did frame up pretty tight in here. I think I lost one row of stitching at the bottom and like one row at the very top, but it's done and it's framed and it's on my wall, and I absolutely love it. So another finish that I have. This one I shared in my last video that I had finished the stitching, and I went ahead and got it fully framed. I think this frame might have come from Michael's too. This is Ellen Ford by Merriwin Farm, I think. And they do suggest an 8x10 frame. This is an 8x10. I think it probably could have been a little bit smaller, but again, I wanted it on my wall. I loved stitching this. It was so much fun, and another one I'm very happy to have done. I really like this frame, like the way it looks all banged up like that. So another one, and I've got one more, and this one I showed to you also in my last video. It was basically done, but not done. And this is Dust of Snow by Plum Street Samplers, and I had made it into this little wall hanging. And I showed that last time, but I had not yet attached the dowel or the beads. So I just did a, sorry, the lighting is definitely weird today. I just did a little dowel that Arden stained for me, and these are just like those little wooden craft beads that are very inexpensive, and again, Arden stained those for me as well. And so now it's like done. Alright, so that's everything that I fully finished this month. I'm going to reset just a little bit and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did turn on an additional light while I was up, so hopefully that'll help a little bit. Okay, so like I said, I did a lot of stitching in January. Here's my days. As you can see, there's a lot on there. I had a total of 8 new starts and 7 finishes, so I feel like that's pretty good. Let's see, so I decided to try a little bit of a different rotation. Typically I work on projects I'll just pick one and work on it until I don't feel like working on it anymore, and then move on. But for January, I tried switching out my project every Wednesday. So I had my downstairs kind of bigger projects, more focused projects, and then I had a selection of projects upstairs in my stitching room that I work on in the evenings, and those I put on a wheel, a la Jen from Jen's Fiberweb, and that was super fun. I really enjoyed doing that. So I think I'm going to continue this for February and see how it goes. With the exception of the projects that I just currently have pulled out, that I technically would have started on Wednesday. I haven't really worked on them that much, so I might give them an extra week, but we'll see. Who knows? Now that I said that, I might never do it again. Who's to say? Anyways, let's get into it. So my New Year, New Start this year is by Lily Violette, and it's Contessa Carletta Camilla. And I did, looks like this, and I did look up what that meant, and I feel like it was like something about cabinets and antique embroidery or something. I can't remember. If I think about it, I will put it on the screen, but I might not think about it. I was watching Annie Exo Needle in the Hey Exo talk about this, and I will say I agree with her. This chart is very challenging. It is just color blocks and no symbols, so keep that in mind if it's something that you're thinking about. It's living in this cute little bag I made, and I'm using all of the called for DMC. Oh, something I forgot to mention at the beginning is that so Aaron, in my last video I mentioned that Aaron had gotten me a pegboard, and he's been doing my floss drops for me. It's converting all of my DMC from bobbins to floss drops, and we quickly realized that the piece that he got was not going to fit all of my DMC collection, so he got some more and he mounted it on the wall. There used to be a chalkboard on the wall in my stitching room that I never used. I could never get the chalk off of it. I don't know. And so we took that down and put up the pegboard, and I put pictures in here. I'm obsessed. I love it so much. It really works for me to be able to put things away. I was never putting my DMC away. It was a complete nightmare. So it's been really great, and he's been wonderful, spending all of his evenings putting DMC on floss drops. So anyways, these are the colors for this project. And I am stitching it on a piece of 32 count Wexford linen from Silk Weaver in the color, I think there's a tag on here somewhere, yep, antique gold. And here's where I got to. So that's not a bad little start. I was doing a little bit of color completing, and that got me moving on this. I also, with this pattern, I have to put it into Good Notes and like mark off on there. So it's coming along. It's just difficult to stitch from. So, but it is awfully cute. It's a lot of stitching. There's a lot of stitching. Alright, the next project I have to share with you is a stitch along that I am doing with my friend Leah Noel of Rhubarb Patch Studio, and this is our birthday stitch along, and it's Easter Goose by Sub Rosa. We are each stitching the whole thing, but we are exchanging the egg section, and we'll stitch them together, and it's super fun. Her egg is beautiful. I am going to be starting on that part soon. This project lives in this little Diana bag, and I pulled just all of my own colors for this, and I haven't decided on the color for my egg yet. I was going to do this Snowy White by XG Design. It's one of her matte threads, which I really like the texture of, but we'll see. I can't. We'll find out. We'll find out together. I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count Balmoral by Color and Cotton, and I finished my goose. So here's where it is. I finished the goose and I finished the tree, and Leah was kind enough to chart out 1984, which is the year we were born. And so I got that in. I love this. I love this goose. And so I gotta just start on the next part, and this is gonna stay out, and I'm going to work on it again in February. It'll go on the wheel. The next project I have is a finish. This is the Baba Yaga sampler by Thread Sewer on Etsy. Looks like this. I was close. I only had this page left to do. And I stitched on it while listening to, oh gosh. The first book is called The Bear and the Nightingale, I think. And there are 2 more books. I read The Bear and the Nightingale twice. And then there are 2 more books, Girl in the Tower and The Winter of the Witch, I think. And so I listened to the last 2 books in that series while I stitched on this, and it was just perfect. It was just perfect. This project lived in this bag here. I stitched it on a piece of 20 count vintage country mocha. That fell. Using this mist dye color and cotton. This beautiful blue. And here is my finish. I loved this. I loved stitching this. That border is serious, and there is an error in the border, but can you tell? I don't care. But yeah, this was super fun. I did most of this border recovering from surgery from getting my wisdom teeth out, which is probably why there's an error in the border, but that's okay. This saw me through a few winters, a few years of winters, and several books about Baba Yaga, and it was just, I loved this so much. So, can't wait to have that on the wall. Alright, let's see. The next project I have here is one that I definitely want to get done this year, and that is the Moon Phase Bell Pull by Tiny Modernist, which looks like this. When I shared this in my last video, Jen from Jen's Fiberweb again had mentioned that her and Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe were going to be pulling this out on the full moon, and suggested that maybe I join them and we can encourage each other to work on it. And I said, okay, I can do that for sure. So yeah, that's what it looks like. It lives in this beautiful Quilting with Nico bag. And I'm just using the called for DMC floss. There's 4 colors. I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count Timberwolf by Seraphim Fabrics. And here's where I am. So, as you can see, I've got a lot done. And on the full moon in January, I worked down here in these trees. So I'm really hoping that this this gets complete this year. I do want to turn it into the bell pull. I know I don't have a lot of margin, but that's okay. I say this, got a string in the front. I say this every time, but these are some of the most beautiful cross stitch moons I've ever seen. I love this. So that's that. The next project that I have here is one that I didn't intend to work on again in January, but I had a doctor's appointment coming up, and I needed something for like my waiting room stitching. That doctor's appointment ended up getting canceled because of snow. I'm actually going next week to that appointment. So I'm not sure if I'll take this or not, but I did work on it a little bit more. This is the Gingerbread House Sewing Book by Stacey Nash. This was from the Jingle Ball this year. I had already stitched this front, and I have been working on the back here, but just a little tiny bit. I'm using the called for 36 count linen and the flosses. It all came as a kit. It lives in this little foxes wearing sweaters bag. And I got threads kind of everywhere here. Hang on. I'm worried about miscounting on the outline of the house. So this is where I got to. I did cut the linen down to make it more manageable. I'm stitching this in hand, and I worked on outlining the house and outlining that door, because my plan was to work on filling in the door while I was sitting in the waiting room. So this might come out next week for that one day, or it might not. I'm not really sure yet, but I guess we'll find out next time. Alright, the next project that I have here is what I had tried to make my snow day project. I worked on it a couple times when it snowed, and then when we got our last snow, I was like, okay, I need to work on this, and then immediately I was like, no, I absolutely cannot work on that. I don't know, like, what in my brain was like. I guess maybe because I told myself I had to do something. I don't know. Whatever. This is Red Flag by Roger W. Renardi. Just like this. Sorry, I was sneezing. Okay, anyways, this is Red Flag by Roger W. Renardi. Looks like this. This is a pattern from 1983. I've stitched another one of his projects, and they come in these little booklets. These are art booklets. These are the other ones that are in there. I do like those birds down there. Anyways, so that's that. It lives in this other Diana bag. Matches that little one I showed you earlier. I am using all of the called for DMC. And I'm stitching out a piece of 36 count color and cotton pewter. And here's where I'm at. Oh, I might need something. So I worked down here, and I worked over here. And when I was working over here, I realized I can't remember now. I'm sure I'll figure it out again. If this is like this barn structure is one stitch too big or one stitch too small, but I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to accommodate for that, because I wasn't gonna pull it out. So anyways, here's this. I don't know, this might go away till next winter. Alright, the next project I have here, I'm gonna have to insert a picture of what the front looks like. This is Twin Peaks Miniatures by Finger Pricks on Etsy. I'm sure many of you heard about the passing of David Lynch. Aaron and I, when we first started dating, Twin Peaks was one of the first shows that we watched together, and we've rewatched it several times over the years. It's like a comfort show for us. And so when we heard of his passing, we decided we were going to watch it again, and we like to stitch our feelings. So I found these patterns, and I have been working on them while we've been watching Twin Peaks in the evening. I'm keeping this project in here. This cute little bag, and this might be done. I'm not sure. I'm using mostly the called for DMCs. I did change one of the yellows. I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count white Lugana, and here are the ones I've completed. So there's Cherry Pie, Black Lounge, the Alglyph, and then there's one more that's not pictured on the cover photo, and it is a tape recorder. It's a tape recorder. So I haven't decided if I'm going to put that one down here or not. I have got these little 2x3 frames. They came in a set of 4, but I can only find 3 of them. So I could either just do these 3. If I can find the 4th one, I'll do the tape recorder. But if not, I'm just going to do these 3, and so hopefully next time I make a video, these will be all framed up. All right, I need to reset again. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to pull my next pile of projects over. I always, well, yeah, pretty much always set up my floss tubes the day before, just because it takes me a while and I like to get everything organized the way that I like it. And so I woke up this morning and Quentin's cat had knocked an entire pile of my stitching onto the floor. And so it was this stack, so if things are a little discombobulated, I like quickly kind of put them all back, but yeah. It's something else, my gosh. All right. So the next project that I worked on is Ms. Mary Claire Carroll, 1738. This is by Samplers Revisited, and it is the oldest known Maryland sampler. That's a little tiny picture of it right there. And I was working on this band down here. It lives in this Maryland bag. I'm using all of the called for, everything is falling, all of the called for DMC. And I'm stitching it on a piece of 38 count Wayfarer's Cloak. Yes, by Legacy Linen. And here's where I am. This is a big project. So, pull it in. I'll scroll it up. But all this, hopefully you can see how shiny it is. There's a ton of satin stitch in this project. And then down here, these are 2 big embroidered flowers that I'm going to wait till the end to do. I started on one, but I think I'm going to put it in scroll rod so I don't crush that. And if I'm not mistaken, this line, maybe here, this green border, I think is the halfway point. So all of that is the top half and I'm in the bottom half now. So here is where I was working. I was kind of color completing again across this row, but I was getting frustrated with the pattern. There is more embroidery that goes on here, and there are sections that say that they are just random cross stitches, and then there's kind of a diagram that shows that, but it's not very clear. And I was just not in the headspace to try to figure that out. So this did not get the attention that I want. I'm hoping to be able to go to the Clare Museum and see this in person, and maybe, I don't know if I'd be allowed to, take some pictures of the embroidered areas up close to kind of get a better idea. The picture on the front of the pattern is obviously very small, so I was just frustrated. So it did not get too much love. This might come out again, maybe in September. I talked about this just a little bit in my whip parade, but typically I only stitch on my projects 1 time per year. But I am hoping that with this new rotation that I'm trying, that it will allow me to kind of cycle through them more than once per year. So we'll see. No promises, but here she is. She's big and beautiful, and I'm really proud of her. She's not easy stitching, really. So, yep. There's Mary. The next project that I have here is a finish. This is Mustard Seed Manor Sewing Book by Stacy Nash Primitives. I started this, I think, 2 years ago for Dark October stitching. There's the outside, and then here's what the inside should look like. This project lived in this little cat bag. I used colors from my stash for this, and a piece of 36 count linen that I had over dyed. I think, so that year when I did Dark October stitching, I dyed a bunch of fabric, and I think this might have been a Fortnite fabric that was like a light blue that I grunged up. So anyways, here is the front of the book. Cute. And then here is the little pins for the inside. This was fun. I don't know why it took me so long. Sometimes this kind of stitching with like vines and leaves gets a little fiddly for me, and I don't always enjoy it, so maybe that's why this took kind of a long time, but yeah, all done. And so obviously I cut off the extra fabric here, and I used that for my next project, which is the 2025 Stitch for Pride by D of D's 20 Stitches. I bought Stitch for Pride 2024, and I bought it like mid-year, and just couldn't get myself together to start it. So, but I did get this one started, and I'm so glad. Stitch for Pride, if you're not familiar, is a learning and a stitching project that Dee puts on, and for the month of January, gracious, we learned about and stitched Elagabalus, I think that's how you say it. I looked it up on YouTube how to pronounce it, and then I wrote it out, but now I'm really questioning myself, so I don't know. Elagabalus? We do the best we can here. So I did not get the floss pack that was offered for this, and I'm just going to pull things from my stash. I was inspired by Super Stitcher on Instagram, who I will link below, for the colorway that I chose. I used, like, these are monochrome patterns, but I did choose two colors. This is a blue this is a yellow silk spring silk, and this is a blue almond M&M silk and blueberry. And here it is. So I really like how this turned out. My plan so far is to make these into little pillows and have like a long bowl to have all these little pillows in. But that was fun. I had never heard of this person before, so that was interesting. It was interesting learning and fun stitching. What more could you ask for? Awesome. Okay, the next project I have here is a new start. This is the MLK Sampler by Stone Street Stitchworks, which looks like this. I bought this a little while ago, and I knew that I wanted to have it as my Board of Education stitching, so I watch our Board of Ed meetings for my county, which is typically every other Monday night, and this just felt like the thing that I wanted to stitch while watching that. I would like to have this at my desk at work. So this is the little bag I keep it in, this little Maryland bag that I made. There's just like fuzzes on everything today. My gosh. These are some colors I'm not sure if I'm using. I'm changing all the colors to match the colors for our school. And these are a mess too, but that's okay. I'm a little bit of a mess. So these are the colors I'm using. I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count mallow. And here's where I got to. Our board meetings are typically 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours, so the one last Monday ran a little long, and this is what I got done. So again, some good comfort stitching. Let's see. Okay, the next project I have to share with you was a New Year, New Start 2 years ago, I think. I actually went through and wrote down on my whip list, I would like look back at my old calendars and tried to figure out when I'd actually started some of my projects. So I think this one was 2 years ago. This is the Beatrix Potter Quaker Sampler by Stitchy Box. This was a stitch along started by Julie, who's Kansas City girl in a Colorado world. And this, I don't typically keep needle minders with certain projects, but this one I want to keep with this. This is from Mad for Minders. And is in this bag here. The original is stitched in a brown color, I believe, but I chose something different. I chose DMC 535 and Sulky White as my accent. I wanted something pretty and soft and girly, so I'm using a piece of 36 count Lakeside Vintage Quicksilver, which is a very pretty light purple. Beatrix Potter always makes me think of my mom, and being a little girl, and this is giving that to me, giving those vibes to me. And here's where we are. So this time when I worked on it, I was working on this third page over here. I finished out this this motif. I added this motif. I stitched around here. I added in this, and I started on this motif over here. I really, really enjoyed working on this time. The last time I worked on it, I wasn't like really feeling it, but this time I definitely was. I was hoping to get over, I've got, I think, one more motif to hit this corner over here. But I didn't make it. That's okay. She's not going anywhere. So, that's where she is. I love her. She's really, really pretty. Just a couple more. The next project that I pulled out is my Modern Folk Embroidery, No Time Like the Present. This was the 2024 Stitch Along, which looks like this. I was inspired by this colorway down here, the kind of a light olive green and brown. So I was working on this pretty diligently last year until June. In June I just stopped. I think I just put it away after I filmed a video and never pulled it back out again for the rest of the year. So I'm working on the June section. Here are the two colors that I'm using. Both DMCs. This is 30, 31, and 370. I'm using one strand of 370 and two strands of 30, 31. Did I show this bag? I can't remember if I just did. Anyways, this little it lives in the celestial bag that I made. And I've got a needle just sticking straight up. There we go. This is where I'm at. So I got 1/3 of the way through the June section. These sections are not a small amount of stitching, so I was happy, you know, about 1 hour a night for a week to get through that section. This one is not nearly as much, and then this one is the same on the other side. So I'm just going to keep plugging away at that. I don't know that I will get this done this year. I would like to, but no pressure. We'll see. So I feel like I keep shaking this camera today. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, two more. This next project I just pulled out. This was one I pulled out on Wednesday, and I think I've only worked on it one time since then. And that is Birds of a Feather. This is Winter. She is beautiful. I'm stitching her with my friend Rebecca. All four of my girls are living in this. I do need to separate them soon. They all won't fit. I'm using colors of my own choosing, but similar vibes to the cover here. And I'm stitching them all on 38 count cloister cream linen. And here's where she is. Let's see if that helps. So this is the bottom of the first page, and I just started adding in that little bit right there in that one night that I worked on it. So not a whole lot, but it's something. That's why I said I think I'm going to keep this out for an extra week, just to give it a little bit more love. So that is, for reference, this is where I'm at. So that little bit of white right there is what I put in, and that's the flower, and so I'm like working over here. So, all right, and the last one I have to share today took me all month. This was the November Quaker from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. Another project I would like to have off of my list this year for sure. I've only got one left, December. I had this as my lunchtime stitching, and it just, I don't know. If you watch me for a while, you know I've been stuck on this project. I don't know what my problem is here. Anyways, they all live in this Maryland bag that I made. And each of these only has 3 colors, so I've pulled colors from my stash. Oh, Cora is running in her sleep right now. Cute. Anyways, I just pulled 3 colors from my stash that kind of match the cover model, and they're being stitched on 22 count Aida. So here are the first 3, January, February, March. And then we have, oh, more fuzz. April, May, and June. July, August, and September. And then finally October and November. So pull in November, show you a little more closely. There is November's Quaker. And I'm feeling a little torn right now. I don't know if I should just start December and just keep going and just be done with it. If I should, I guess I'm worried that if I tell myself that I'm going to wait a month and start it in March, that I'm never going to start it in March, and this is going to hang around again. So we'll see what happens. Did I even show these? It doesn't matter. 3 threads. Okay. That's everything I stitched on in the month of January. So now I'm going to pull over the things that came in the mail, and we'll talk just a little tiny bit about plans, and I'll show you what I got. Be right back. Okay, so plans. In February, I'm going to try to continue this Wednesday switch out rotation. I'm going to pick some more projects to put on the wheel, because that was a lot of fun. And I've got some new starts in mind, but the only one that I'm sure I'm going to be starting is this pattern, which I'll put in right here. It's called Community is Resistance, and it's by Cross-Stitched and Painless Crafts. It's on their Etsy. I will put it down below. They have created a like an Instagram group chat of people that are stitching this, and I'm hoping to start this maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure. I pulled the DMC, and I'm thinking about putting it on this opalescent seraphim, because it's really pretty. So I've actually, when I was pulling this over, I just noticed a bunch of people like in that chat right now. So yeah, so I'm definitely going to be starting this, and I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, I'm just gonna, whatever happens, happens, right? Okay, so what came in the mail? This is my Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month. This is Fawn Pale. It's the January. I get a 36 count. Beautiful neutral. I joined another fabric club for this year through my LNS Needlecraft Corner. They partnered with Picture This Plus for a fabric of the month based on the colors that Blackbird Design uses. So every month I'll be getting a fat quarter of a 36 count Picture This Plus from them, and the first one we got this month was Heartland. So a nice big piece of that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And then she sent along just a little, like a little metal needle case too. I placed an order with Jen's Stitching Niche. Jen has a great store, a great Etsy. She always has awesome sales, and she had like a make room for Nashville sale, so I definitely took advantage of that. Jen sent along a couple of DMCs as a little thank you, and I got all kinds of different stuff from her. I got this cross stitch key reference guide, just like that. I got 2 thread holders. These were from Stacy Nash. I got another little pair of these scissors. This is what I keep in my car. I have a little yellow pair, but the cover came off and it's a little dangerous, so I'm going to replace them with these in my car. I got one of the Fragments in Time 2023 Berlin Woolworks. I would like to collect all of these. I got this little heart and hand Thankful frill. This lady is pulling a turkey in a wagon. And how cute is that? Super cute. I got this, it's a candle mat by Prairie Grove Peddler, and it's wrens. I don't know that I would stitch it as a candle mat. My stitching group is the Threaded Wrens, and we do a smalls exchange each year, so this might be an option. Maybe a little pillow out of one of those. I'm not sure. I can't decide. I've got a couple things pulled, but I can't decide. Calling of the Sea by Stacy Nash. Which looks like this. I might do this whale here without the top. Got the flag at the top. But I like the whale. This was what convinced me to make the order. I had long admired this pattern, but it's a little pricey, and I don't know that I want to stitch all of it. It is F. Delhomme, 1873, a French alphabet sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. Looks like this. This is gorgeous, but she is giant. She is 418 by 426. And that's big, and I don't know if I have the wall space to put up something that big. I mean, you see my projects, they're giant. But I really, really love these 2 little seams down here. So I might just stitch those. And then I could hang onto this for reference for the alphabets, or pass it on or sell it, I'm not sure, but beautiful. And the last thing I got from Jen's store is The Bear by The Primitive Hare. When I finish my other bear stitch, maybe this will be the next one. I placed an order with an Etsy shop whose name has escaped me right now. I'll put it down here. But I was watching Andrea of Andrea's Cautionary Tales, who I love, 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 and she was sharing some Prairie Schooler patterns, and I had not seen this one, I don't think, and I had to hunt it down immediately, as we do. This is Boo Moon. I really like that. I really like that weird scarecrow. He's good. They also had Bump in the Night. Classic. And they had Doggy in the Window by La Di Da, which is not something I don't think I'd ever seen, but I sing that song to Cora all the time, so I thought that was cute. This isn't very big, it's 85 by 105, so that would be a pretty quick stitch. I also bought some PDF patterns that I have not printed yet. I need to get ink for my printer, and I just haven't done that, so I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget. So speaking of Andrea's cautionary tales, she has an Etsy store called Shadow House Stitching, and I bought 2 patterns from her. I bought her salty sardines. How cute is that? And her celestial star pattern. And one of them, I can't tell, I was like in my files and it didn't say, but one of them came with journal plates too, which was pretty cool. So those are cute. I purchased from D's 20 Stitches their Let's Make a Statement number 5. Witch's Garden Crafts was having a charity sale, and I got 2 patterns from them. I got No Mourners, No Funerals, which I think is a reference to something else. I don't remember what it is, but I don't know. I kind of want it for my front door because we live next to an active cemetery, so I don't know. And then I also got Grief is Love Persevering from them. And lastly, from the Wishing Thorn, I got the Selena Ellis sampler. So, alright, that is everything. That is everything that I have finished, everything that I have stitched, everything that I've worked on, my little bit of plans, everything I bought. Yeah. So, I hope everybody's doing okay. The best that you can. Hang in there. Love you guys.